Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Xah Talk Show. Today is 2020. What date is today? August 26th, Wednesday, August 26th, and 4 o'clock p.m. in the afternoon, San Francisco time. And today we are going to talk about emacs. Basically, I'm going to work on my website using emacs, so you're gonna see my workflow and stuff. And let's talk random about emacs or keyboards. So first of all, let me show you the cell keyboard, one of the very first one, the very first Lisp keyboard. It is this keyboard that started the Lisp revolution. It begins it all. So this cell keyboard is from 1970. Okay, 1970. Now let me check my status. So good morning, guys. Good morning, Alan and Clawfoot, and good morning, Danielle. So shall we continue? Am I alive? Okay, so that's good. My video is going, my audio is going. So cell keyboard, let me tell you about the cell keyboard. The granddaddy of Lisp keyboards, and Lisp keyboards are in some way the granddaddy of all other keyboards. Let me tell you, so this keyboard, cell keyboard from Stanford AI Lab, Cell, Cell, S-A-I-L, it stands for Stanford AI Lab, Artificial Intelligence, from 1970. And the Stanford AI Lab is started by this guy. Okay, it's started by the guy who invented Lisp, the programming language, John McCarthy. Okay, John McCarthy started the Stanford AI Lab in 1963. Now you see, in 1963, those are the very old days. They are still using punch cards. But then we have this keyboard, cell keyboard. You can see it's got a control key. Now control key is already there by that time, I think. I'm pretty sure. But it's got meta. Okay, so it's got meta key. Today you have an old key. You can see there's an old key. So on the Mac you have the command key. The Mac command key began in 1980s, in 1987 or so. Where does the command key idea came from? It came from this keyboard. Okay, it came from this cell keyboard. So this cell keyboard, now notice, so you also have these math symbols in Greek on them. And so 1970, and this is even before the Space Cadet keyboard. And also you see the arrow labels on the keys. That precedes, so this is probably, I think, I'm not too sure, but I think this is the first keyboard that started to have arrow keys. Now this is not stand-alone arrow keys, but it's the beginning. Then later on, then Adam, the ADM3 keyboard that the VI started on, have arrow symbols on them. So that's a sales keyboard. So Cell's keyboard gave way to the Knight keyboard. You started to have Lisp machines, the Knight keyboard. And then the Knight keyboard is the daddy of the most famous Space Cadet keyboard. We talked about a little bit yesterday. And I talked about Lisp keyboard a bunch of times in my past video. So let's see what's up. Good afternoon, Cortez. Good morning, Bot. Okay, I think so. So that keyboard, cell keyboard, is the background of today's image. So you see, these are the Lisp machines, the Lambda machine, one of the very first one. Lisp machines. It's it's very large. It's like the size of a refrigerator. Okay, that's about Cell's keyboard. And I want to tell you the history of arrow keys, the arrow keys arrangement. And then we're gonna get on to Emacs. Okay, so it's a cell keyboard that has the arrow symbols on the keys. I think that's the first one. I'm not too sure. By the way, so all the photos you've seen of the cell keyboard, they are from this guy. Marcin Wykery. Okay, he is also a somewhat famous, popular programmer. Now this guy is a lisp. This guy is a keyboard expert. Okay, so he is writing a book. I don't know if it's published yet. He is writing a book on keyboard history. So of all the people I know of keyboards, of all the people that are keyboard experts, some of them collects antique keyboards, 1970s, 1960s. They have hundreds of them. I know a couple of people, they have collects hundreds of antique keyboards, computer keyboards. Of course, there are also people who collects antique typewriters. That's even earlier, 100 years ago. And there are also keyboard, key switch experts. Some people focus on the mechanisms of key switch, and of course we have a lot of do-it-yourself keyboard experts. Of all the people who knows about keyboards, as far as I know, in my experience, so this guy Marcin Wykery, I'm not sure how do you pronounce his name. I think he's originally from Northern Europe. He is I would say he's the keyboard history expert, the top real historian of keyboards. So he would know everything about computer keyboards, the history of it. And he is writing a book. I don't know what's the status of the book. I don't know if it's published or not. So anyway, and he travel, he go to all the museums or visit people to take photos to do research on keyboard history. So all the photos you've seen of the cell keyboard, for example, this one is from him. The cell keyboard. Of course, it's interesting. Like online, the most famous lisp keyboard is a Space Cadet. Partly because of the name, partly because it's got all these fantastic symbols. Weird keys, thumb keys, and the Roman numeral keys. Okay, hold on a second. Let me close my window. I have guests. Okay, so yeah, I was saying, the Space Cadet keyboard. If you are into lisp keyboards, I'm sure this is the first one you hear. The meta, control meta, super hyper keys and Greek keys, and also APL keys. However, so this is the most popular, but actually, if we want to trace the most important historical lisp keyboard, it should be the cell keyboard, because the cell keyboard is the father of lisp keyboards. Okay, cell keyboard. Then of course, then this one is famous. I talked about it a few times. The ADM3A terminal. This is the computer, the terminal. Back then it's just a terminal that began the VI. The VI began on this computer, was born from this computer, and you can see the famous VI arrow keys, HJKL. By the way, of you, let me put on a thing of you VI users. This arrangement, there's an interesting question about the arrow key arrangement. How do you arrange arrows so that it's most efficient? This VI way, HJKL, is pretty efficient, but actually it's not optimal. Okay, because I've done, in fact, I made a video, a live stream about this issue. I have a page on it. I'll show you in a moment, maybe. But anyway, on this page, I'm talking about. This is still work in progress. Arrow keys, the kind of history of arrow keys and the possible arrangement of arrows. So first of all, you have inverted T. Now this one, most of us, this is the most popular, of course. The first keyboard that began the inverted T is this one. DEC VT220 terminal. Now this one began in what year? I have the year here. I didn't write it here, but if you go to history, DEC 220 terminal, okay, here 1983. So 1983 DEC VT220 terminal, and it comes with a keyboard with this inverted T arrow arrangement. That's the first one, and this keyboard, this keyboard is the model name is DEC LK201. So this is the first keyboard with the inverted T layout, and there is actually a story about why they created a why did they do it that way? Because it turns out this guy who designed the keyboard, it turns out this arrangement of arrow keys is actually the most efficient. Okay, now he's got a website I linked to. I'm still working on my page, but you can, at the bottom, you can go to see his website. This guy is Jim Burrows. So in 1998, he wrote an article, History of the Inverted T Arrow Key Arrangement on Keyboard. He wrote an article, 1998. Jim Burrows. Here is his article. Okay, now his article is, this is you are looking at 1998 web design. It looks like this. Okay, so you see all the figures are pretty small, and the font is pretty small. I have to enlarge several times. So right now it's enlarged 200%. So you see there are several ways to arrange the arrow keys, and then he also covered the VT100 arrow key arrangement. Wait, this is up, down, left, right. Many different arrangement. You read his article. It turns out the inverted T is actually the most efficient, meaning that if you are going to, let's say, if you are going to play Pac-Man, the Pac-Man, the inverted T will require the least amount of finger movement. Okay, so this is gonna be a disruption for you Vim fanatics. So that's his article, and of course here is my article with computational study calculation about which arrangement is more efficient. Is it the Vim's HJKL or is it inverted T IJKL? So there is actually a JavaScript code. You can type numbers, type the frequency and so on, and come out a number. Okay, so by the way, there is a game called Google Pac-Man. I don't know if you guys seen it. It was very famous about 10 years ago. Google Pac-Man. It's one of the Google Studio. So you can play. Let's see if I can play. Magnify. Insert coin. Okay, it probably require cookies. Okay, yeah, so I cannot play. Okay, copy the link, go back to the YouTube. Good morning, Reaper. Any comments and questions, post it. Okay, so there is Google Pac-Man. Let's see if we can play. Insert coin. There it is. Now I'm on this Kinesis keyboard where the arrows are separated to left and right. So I don't know if I don't play well. So by the way, this Google Pac-Man is written by, close it. Google Pac-Man is written by this guy. Okay, close it. Let me show you. Google Pac-Man, close it. Written by this guy, this keyboard history expert, Marcin Wykery. He was working at Google. I'm not sure. Maybe he is still working at Google. So it is actually he who wrote that Google Pac-Man. So this guy is very interesting. He studied things, many things he studied in depth. He he's a guy who tends to study something in depth. That like he will go very deep, research the history, spending months to research the history, and he happens to also be a JavaScript expert. So JavaScript expert, keyboard expert, both of which I'm also very interested. But another thing he study is, for example, he study fonts. Okay, in depth, fonts in depth. I am, by the way, I'm also very interested in fonts and symbology. You guys have seen my Unicode page, right? I talk about that often. Let's say Unicode arrows. Okay, let me show you my Unicode page. This is my marketing department talking. Unicode, fuck, I'm on the 3rd place now. I should be the 1st place, but people steal my ideas, like, somewhat. Shit. What? Fuck, my page is not even, it becomes 5th page. Shit. Anyway, so the Unicode arrows. So here's my Unicode pages. You study of symbology. But anyway, back to the guy. Okay, this guy, Marcin Weicheri, he also study. He has a great interest in font, and he study fonts in depth. And in fact, he has done some Google, presentation at Google I/O, one of those Google conferences. He has talked about fonts, ligatures, and things like that. That I think is crap. So anyway, so that's this guy, okay, Marcin Weicheri, and he has written another, quite a few JavaScript apps. That's very interesting. I'm very interested. Okay, so that's about that guy. So let's go back to the Lisp keyboard. Let's go back to the arrow key arrangement. So let me show you the arrow key arrangement. So inverted T, that's the most efficient. Okay, then you have left, down, up, right, which is the VI keys. Okay, left, down, up, right. The first one to use this arrangement, I believe, is 1976. The VI's, ADM3A terminal. Then you have up, down, left, right. Another interesting variation. And this one is used on DEC VT100 terminal. Okay, up, down, left, right. And actually, it's positioned on upper right. You see, it's interesting. Position on upper right, row of the keyboard. Then you have apples, apples, left, right, down, up. Let's look at one of them. Okay, apple. So this is what, 1983. So let's show. Here it is. You see, left, right, down, up. Apple, and Apple has, basically all Apple keyboards, they have that left, right, down, up, including this Apple standard keyboard 1987. So Apple key arrangement, Apple's left, right, up, down, left, right, down, up. Then you have the cross arrangement, like a cross. You can see in this Lisp keyboard, Xerox 1109 Lisp keyboard, a cross. The cross is no good. Okay, it's the most inefficient. However, it should win the award for the most intuitive because up, down, left, right. That's the most intuitive actually, but it's the least efficient. There are quite a few. So you have this keyboard. Ergonomics, my keyboard. Okay, they have a, here you can see on the left you have this circle for the function keys. Then you have this, in the middle of the circle you have the arrow keys. And then there's also this home computer, Panasonic from Japan. You can see the arrows. It's in a cross arrangement, but however it's kind of got the diagonal cuts. And in fact, if you have a cross like that with the diagonal cuts, this is actually more efficient than this, this actual cross, Greek cross. By the way, that cross is called Greek cross. Then you have something like this, okay? So you see this one, another Japanese keyboard from NEC in 1992. So you have this diamond shape arrow arrangement, and you can also see this on this Japanese keyboard. And then Microsoft also their Microsoft Natural Elite 1998 also used that configuration. Then you have the truly ergonomic. Okay, truly ergonomic, you can see on the right, they have also a diamond shaped arrangement for the arrow keys, but however they have like a horizontal diamond. So instead of left and right adjacent to each other, now they have up down adjacent to each other, and the left and right is separated. I talked to this guy, and I told him the best arrangement for arrow, the most efficient way, is actually inverted T, and he doesn't agree. He says, "Oh no, this is the best." Okay, so he doesn't agree. He's kind of proud of the fact that he designed this diamond T-shaped arrow keys for truly ergonomic. So in their new version, you can see their new version, it's already out. The truly ergonomic Cleve keyboard 2018. You can also see the arrow keys is like that. In my opinion, it's no good. Okay, because I have this keyboard. Thanks to him, he sent me for a review, and I used it daily for like 4 years. The arrow key arrangement there is very annoying. It's no good, and it's annoying to such a degree that doesn't matter how you remap the keys, you just can't make it work. I mean, it doesn't matter. So I was using the truly ergonomic, the early version. So I thought, the arrow key is very annoying. So I thought maybe make this one of the key Control or one of the key Alt and put the arrow somewhere else. But it just doesn't work out. So the arrow key is very annoying that way. And then let me show you. So all these arrow keys arrangement. Then there is this kinesis. This is actually you have the separated hand for arrow keys. So like on this keyboard, let me show. Is there a clear picture? Let me show you. So the left hand, you can see here's a picture. The left hand, you have left right for the left right arrows. The up down arrows are on the right hand, up down arrows. I don't really like it. Okay, I've been using this keyboard for by now 4 or 5 years. It's still my current keyboard. Let me show you. Comments, questions posted. Okay, rank wars. So let me show you as a routine. Hold on a second. Okay, that my configuration doesn't work. So let me just show you. So you can see again, I'm showing you my keyboard. This is the Kinesis Advantage 2. You go to my website, read my reviews and watch the video review and buy it. Then there is this ultimate hacking keyboard, which I'm using as a keypad. Fantastic. So you can see it can, all single key press operations. So anyway, so the Kinesis Advantage, you see, this is the arrows up and down, and on the left side you have left and right. So let me tell you about that. How do I think about that arrangement? So in this arrangement, so you separate to left and right. Let's see if I can find a better picture. Okay, let's go here. Let's go up. Let's go do it yourself. Let's go ERGO docs. ERGO docs is the most okay, anyway, so ERGO docs, there's a standard arrangement. Anyway, this guy puts left, up, down, right. That's the same as VI, I think. So I'm trying to find, okay, so you look at this one. This one is using custom keycaps, using Elfish alphabet, Elfish language, Tengwa artificial language, constructed language from Lord of the Rings. Very beautiful, all these symbology. So anyway, look at the arrow key arrangement of this guy has chosen. So up down for the right hand and left right for the left hand. So this arrangement, in theory, it's very good because you use both hands instead of using one hand. If you use one hand, then you have to move a lot. Now, if you use both hands, because if you use one hand, you have 3 fingers, but you have 4 keys. That means you have to switch fingers to different keys when you play Pac-Man. But with this both hands, all your fingers are on keys. So in theory, this should be the most efficient when you want to use the arrow keys heavily, such as when you play Pac-Man. But it's kind of annoying. I didn't really like it. By now I'm used to it, but I still play Pac-Man much better if I use one single finger on single hand on a inverted T layout. So I don't really like the separate hands arrow key arrangement. So Anton Zaberko says, "Hi Xah, just got the Ultimate Hacking keyboard. Do you think I should swap to a Dactyl instead?" Oh yeah, if you want to, Dactyl is certainly better. Obviously, I mean, Ultimate Hacking keyboard is fantastic. Okay, no mistake about that. But if you don't know, let me show you. Okay, so here is Ultimate Hacking keyboard for those of you haven't seen. Wait, so you go to ergonomic keyboards, then you go to Ultimate Hacking. So that's the Ultimate Hacking keyboard. It's fantastic. $230, something like that. Plus, if you want to buy the wrist pad, it's more like $250, $260. So this is very good. But if you are more concerned about ergonomics, so you have Dactyl. Dactyl is a do-it-yourself keyboard. So why is it better? Because it's more ergonomic. You got curved surface. Yeah, it's up to you, because if you go with the Dactyl, then it's not portable anymore. This is problematic if you want to bring to if you travel or go to work with the keyboard. You cannot carry it. So if you are on the go often, the Ultimate Hacking is much more suitable. So I think that's about it about the keyboards for today. Let's do some emacs. What do you guys say? So about arrow keys, about sales keyboard. Okay, comments. Okay, comments, and let me any things you comment, I'll talk about that. So how long have I been talking? I've been talking for 30 minutes. Okay, so we have like 30 minutes more. So pick a topic. Pick something you would be interested to hear. Like if you have a question you want to ask me. Don't, I'm not asking for a suggestion of a topic. Don't think about, let's suggest something. No, something if you want me to talk about, then you post it. I'll talk about it. So I have some corrections. Yesterday we talked about emacs. Let's see. It's not the same as VI. Okay, it's not the same. Okay. So yesterday we talked about, I was giving a reaction on the speedbar and Emacs. Basically, I don't have good words for them. Not much. The speedbar I could adapt, I could use, but not Emacs. Actually, so someone told me. So let's try it. Okay. So again, back to my Emacs. Magnify. Now go to the directory. Go up the directory. Then start speedbar. Start speedbar. Magnify, and let's make it bigger, so you can see all my directories. Okay, you can see all my directories. So I was trying to find a command to expand all the directories. So the key is left square bracket. Okay, so let's type it. Oh, wait. Oh, it takes a while. Okay, I guess. Yeah, this is there are about 20,000 files in this directory, so it's actually taking a while. 20,000 files. Okay, it's still showing. Wow, 20,000 files. It's gonna take a while, I guess. It could be actually there might be 30,000 files, because most more than half of them are image files. Okay, so I guess Emacs is stuck. All my CPUs are maxed out almost. Well, when it's slow, most of the time, when your computer is slow, most of the time is disk access. Like right now, it's trying to access tens of directories and listing 20,000 files. I guess that's why. So Emacs, I guess it's stuck. Speedbar, 30,000 files. It's not responding. So Anton got a new trackball. So which one did you get? Okay, maybe I should stop this speedbar. Just too much for it to handle. You can see at the bottom of the Emacs mini buffer, you can see it's trying to update. It's trying to go to, it looks like it's trying to go to, why is it it's trying to go through each directory. Yeah, it's still doing that. X keys trackball lights blue. Okay, so you got X keys trackball. So let's talk about that. Speedbar is still going. So let's go to, okay, so let's go to trackball. The X keys trackball is one of the best trackball. It was known as L-Track, but they sold the company after 30 years. They sold the company last year in 2019, and they sold it to the X Key. There's a company called X Key. So it's this one. By the way, so this trackball is known for as the best quality. As far as quality goes, this is the best quality trackball, but not necessarily the best trackball, because it's the best build, okay, best build, but not necessarily the best, because for a trackball there are lots of different issues and concerns. Mostly, for example, the design, the shape of the trackball. So different people actually prefer different shape. But L-Track is one of the best build, and and okay, so if you guys anyone like it, but go to my website, buy it. And I think you bought it from my website, right, Anton? Thank you for that. So let's see, next comments or question. Is this key bind to expand directories a default, or is it a custom? It's a default. So you start in Emacs. In Emacs, you start up speedbar, then you put the cursor on the speedbar window, then you press left square bracket. Now it's too slow. We're gonna stop it. Control G. Okay. Let's see if it will respond to my Control G. This directory is too big for it to handle. Control G. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. Emacs. This is one of the problem of Emacs. Now there's the rainbow of death on the Mac. The rainbow of death. So Emacs, one of the almost the number one problem of Emacs is that it's said to be single-threaded. What it means is that when Emacs is doing something, it cannot do any other thing. It has to wait until that thing is done. So right now it's trying to open. Okay, cancel successful. Okay, it worked. So here's a speedbar. You can see my whole entire directory as a tree. Now this is actually, yeah, I'm telling you. So this is 30,000 pages. That's why it takes so long, and it's not done yet. Let's see if I can page down. 30,000 pages. Yeah. So page down speedbar. So speedbar is great. I might use it sometimes. Speedbar is built in. Okay. So what does that? So these are, what does that connected mean? Okay. So you see, it hasn't opened all these yet because of 3,000 pages. Yeah. Anyway, so that's speedbar. Yeah. So someone corrected me. Thank you for that yesterday. And there is another correction. So yesterday I was also reviewing the Emacs package, which allows you to view a directory as a tree structure and navigate among the files. And I do not recommend Emacs at all. One of the reason is because it uses the dash package. Okay, so let's go to my Emacs. Let's close that. Go to my Emacs blog. Okay, go to my Emacs blog and close. Okay, wait. What are we doing? Oh God! Now I'm trying to switch to speedbar and it's stuck again. Okay, Control G, cancel. Okay, now I'm gonna quit speedbar. Okay, close it. Can we close it? Do you want to save? Speedbar modified. Do you want to save? No. Okay, close speedbar. So go to my Emacs blog and then go to Emacs. Why not use dash? Okay, open the file. So you can see yesterday I talked about why not use dash near the end of the video. So I created a page for it. Let me repeat the reasons. Okay, why I despise dash. Okay, I despise the dash library. Dash library is one of the most, actually it is the top 5 most popular package on Melpa. it's got tens of thousands or 100,000 downloads. Why? Because it's a library that is meant to be a modern list processing API. So it contains a bunch of functions that processes list. Emacs Lisp. The word Lisp stand for list processor. So when you Lisp languages, because everything in Lisp is a list. That's what because it's said in the name. It's a list processor. So it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, it's kind of preposterous. It's an insult to the Lisp language. When you have a Lisp language, a Lisp processor, a Lisp language, Lisp, then you have another language, you need another package to help you process lists. You need to call another package to help your list functions. What the fuck? That's an insult to the language. And that is what Dash does. Okay, Dash. It becomes the most popular. Why? So why is it most popular? Because the incompetence of the GNU Emacs people. They sit there, they don't change nothing because they are gods. They don't listen to anything. But the society moves on. The Perl, the Python, it has several compilers, completely new compilers. They listen to what people need. Programmers, take suggestions to improve. After 3-5 years, a complete new compiler. After 5 years, another complete, totally compiler written from the ground up. Same thing with JavaScript. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 compilers. Same thing with PHP. New compilers every 5-10 years, okay, or even a complete new language from Facebook, Hackland, okay, PHP, a new version of PHP, Hackland, Python 2, Python 3, complete, new fixes and all that. When it comes to Emacs Lisp, no change. So Emacs Lisp functions, they don't even have basic string manipulation functions, such as trim in Emacs Lisp, the language that's designed for text processing. You don't have a function that trims string that like remove the white space in front of the string or end of string. You don't have that function. Doesn't exist until 5 years ago. Imagine that. Why does it exist now? Because someone else, they saw the popularity of Dash. They inspired them to write another package called S. These people, this new millennial generation people, coders, they created a package named S, which is supposed to be the modern API for string functions. They are trying to replace, they write a wrapper kind of thing on top of Emacs Lisp. So I despise these libraries, but there are good reasons for why these libraries becomes popular. Because the new Emacs people, the new Emacs dev, they have lots of problems, political problems, organization problems. They don't change, they don't listen, and you have to sign everything you try to contribute. You have to sign a paper. Lots of problems, and people many are old bees. They argue. They refuse to change. Lots of problems. I talked about this many times. For example, you go to my Emacs blog. You go to the home page. You click the yellow navigation button. You go to the home page. You go to the Emacs modernization. Then you have a collection of Emacs problems, but that's not it. Okay, you go to the Emacs miscellaneous index. I did a video talking about some of these problems. Then you have this collection of articles titled Emacs Controversy. Now, these are incidents I have collected about Emacs problems, controversies. Like every 3 or 4 years, there's a huge controversy. The Richard Stallman did something, so you can see the problems, So emacs lisp for 20, they don't make improvements. There's some improvements, but not nowhere comparable to the real world. The like PHP, Python, Ruby, or JavaScript. What's going on? They like the Emacs people. They live in a hole. They live in a cave. They have their own world, free software, free software foundation. Their world. They are like a commune. And the Emacs people, the Emacs fanatics, every day they are saying, "Oh, Emacs Lisp is the best language. Oh, Emacs can do everything." Crap, it's all crap. I am a Emacs Lisp fan. I like Emacs Lisp and Emacs to improve. I live in Emacs for 20 years by now. I like it. I want to improve, but I don't want crap. I don't want code. Or I don't want something that's untrue. That's kept spreading around, untrue things like that. So I talked about that's why people, they ban me, they don't like me. They just So anyway, the Dash package, the Dash becomes hugely popular because on one hand, the GNU Emacs Lisp, they refuse to improve. So there comes Dash, a modern API. This Malaysian, they say this modern API. So it becomes hugely popular. Almost every package on Mailbox uses it. And then 5 years ago, about 5 years, finally the GNU Emacs people finally improved Emacs Lisp. They wrote a new package. Now it's part of Emacs. It's part of bundled. It's part of the Emacs Lisp core that has those functions. Let me show you. Okay. So Emacs. So let's go to where do we go to? You go to my Emacs blog homepage. You go to Emacs Lisp tutorial, and you go down and you see this is my tutorial on Emacs Lisp. You can learn Emacs Lisp from the ground up. Then I explain list, vector, sequence type, sequence functions. Okay, so here this page teaches you about all functions that manipulate list or vector or array. It's in Emacs Lisp, all these are called sequences, sequence data type. So then you can see here sequence functions. There are like 20 of them. All these are new, 30 of them. All these for example sequence P, copy sequence, reverse and reverse sort. Some of them are old, okay, but 20 of them are new. Sequence drop, sequence take. So these are new. This began in 2016, starting in Emacs 25, 2016. So it's 4 years ago. GNU Emacs people finally added this. Why? Because of Dash. They see that Dash is all hugely popular. Then they finally realized, oh my God, we actually need these functions in the Emacs Lisp. So that's why they added this. So that's about Dash. I don't like it because it's not. Personally, I don't like it because it's kind of a wrapper. It's trying to modernize things. But on the other hand, they have a point because Emacs Lisp people, they refuse to change. If you try to be nice, you go to Emacs Dev and try, hey guys, I wrote this. Could you possibly, maybe we could put it in Emacs? They will not listen. You are nobody. Nobody give a fuck about you. That's what happens in the Emacs Lisp Dev. It doesn't matter who you are. Even if you are a well-known celebrity, even if you are a head, tech leader of Google, they don't give a shit about you. The only God, there is a God in Emacs Lisp Dev. That's Richard Stallman, who have not coded a single line of code for 20 years, something like that, for at least 10 years. He doesn't know what he's coding anymore. He was one of the greatest coder 30 years ago, for 10 years also, but he haven't coded at least 10 years, 10 or 20. But anyways, he's the only God. Most people don't even know who who made all these Emacs improvements? There's a code problem. There's a serious problem. Every time when I do a video, I talk about these things, I started to flame these people. Then you start to see thumb down. Okay, you will start to see thumb down on my YouTube. That's the condition of the society. Okay, nothing. That's just what happens. Okay, so we have been talking for how long? For like 50 minutes. Maybe that's it for today. 50 minutes. So let's read some comments. Actually, there's something I want to tell you. Dash and what else? There's some corrections. Oh yeah, so another correction I want to make. So yesterday we talked about Emacs. One of the thing I said is that Emacs uses a idiosyncratic buffer, but this guy Rick Nam says Emacs buffers aren't magic. They use an Emacs feature called slide windows. You can toggle them with window toggle side windows, which is pretty handy, or kill it with kill this buffer. Okay, so I stand corrected. I will look into. Maybe he's right. He's. I haven't looked into, so I would say 99% probability he's correct. But sometimes they are wrong. Sometimes when I look into it, it's actually not the case. But anyway, so there's apparently there's a new feature, or maybe it's an old feature. It's called in Emacs Lisp called side windows. I'm not aware of. I'm not a that great Lisp coder. There's a lot of people who know Emacs Lisp much better than me. Okay, so let's see what are the comments. And post your comments, and we shut down. Maybe we'll probably shut down soon. Down and up. Okay, so yeah, Emacs. Also, I got my first trackball. Okay, so not much comments. Is this keybind to expand directory default? Yeah, it's default. What? Sign your paper. Yeah, you don't know? You young people, new generation, don't know this anymore. So, GNU Emacs Free Software Foundation. If you want to contribute code to Emacs, well, the easiest way is, you just write code and put it on Melpa. Everyone can use it, okay? And also, you have to use GNU GPL 3. It must be version 3. Version 2 is no longer allowed, because 3 years ago I have an article on that. I mentioned before, you go to this page, you'll find the article. About 3 years ago, I can show you here, okay. 2017, 3 years ago, Richard Stallman tells other people to kick out any packages on Melpa that is not using GPL 3. So GPL 2 is not enough. Free Software Foundation GPL 2, that's not good enough. He tells people to tell other people to use GPL 3. So, and the Melpa people, I know the Melpa people, so they conceded. They started to kick about 5 or 10. They started to contact those people, tell them to upgrade to GPL 3, and eventually kick out packages that's using GPL 2 or some others. So back then, all my packages, I have like about five packages on Melpa. I'm all using GPL 2, not GPL 3. It's a big controversy. Okay, GPL 2 versus 3. For example, Linus Torvalds, the guy who wrote Linux, he flamed. GPL 3, according to him, is not ethical. Because GPL 3 tries to enforce. Anyway, that's a big controversy. I'm not going into. Okay, GPL 2 is good. Okay, so. Anyway, so Richard Stallman tell other people to kick out GPL 2, and it happened. So then the Melpa people quietly, they don't make an announcement. In my opinion, that's evil. Okay, that's one of the evil deed. But I don't blame them. Like these people today, They just follow the flow because, oh, let's quietly, do it. Anyway, so that happened. So I had, at that point 3 years ago, I was thinking I have to make a decision. I'm kind of tired of open source fanatism, and the open source becomes, huge evil empire in society, and they essentially made Google, Facebook, Twitter, these global empires that controls every aspect, and even controlling programmers, because you have code of conduct, all that Google control. And as a programmer, you can no longer be independent because open source. They work at Google. These fucking people working at Google, Facebook make tons of money. If you work for Google or any company in the Bay Area here, you make $10,000 a month. That's like almost minimum, $10,000 per month. I'm making 1,000, not even $1,000 a month. If you mop toilets at McDonald's, you make about $3,000 a month. Okay, so these people working at Google, they are open source fanatics. Oh, let's write, open source. We need open source. They make a lot of money. At day, they work for Google, and they propaganda for open source fanatism. At night, they write open source software, open source. So if you are independent like me, you are a poor sub. You write code. There's no competition for you because whatever you write, there are 10 fucking thousand rich elite fuckheads. They are working for Google. They write the same thing as you do. They have support. They are competing with your whatever you are doing. That's the open source. So if you are a supporter of open source or free software foundation, go fuck yourself right now. I'm telling you. I haven't been that extreme before, but right now I'm saying this. Okay, go fuck yourself. It's time to stop support anything open source or free software foundation. Well, I still support it. I still. I still use emacs. Basically all my packages, software is all open source. It's been like that for 20 years. Even before the foundation, before open source becomes a thing. My packages in Mathematica, 1995, 1993, it's all use it free. Okay, if you like to, there's a quote. If you like it, you please go ahead and use it. Okay, this is good spirit. No open source fucking string attached. Not that like you have to use these licenses. Otherwise, you are evil. Go fuck yourself. I write a code. Okay, so feel free to use it. Don't abuse it. Okay, don't abuse it. Go ahead and use it, and I'm not responsible for disasters out of a certain minimal legal requirements. Not open source fucking fanatism. Okay, I got angry. Then it becomes a flame of open source again. I guess that's it for today. So back to the question. I digressed. So if you want to contribute code to Emacs, the easiest way is just to write and put it on Mailpath. Okay, put it in GPL3 and put it on Mailpath. That's a go. But if you actually want to contribute to the GNU Emacs, on their LPath repository or on GNU Emacs core, you have to sign a paper. Okay, that's been a case for like 30 years ago. And it's a big controversy, but it's still required. Of course, I have to sign paper for ERGO Emacs package, and the experience is not so good. It's not nice, back and forth delays. They don't give a fuck. That's. I can talk for another hour about that issue, and then I show you articles, I show you other people's experiences, and I tell you who is doing what. That's another 1 hour. So who is watching? 8 concurrent viewers, not many. Okay, that's it for today. Did you hear about the best ergonomic keyboard on earth? No. VELOCIFIRE? No, that's not likely. Let's search for it. VELOCIFIRE. What the heck is that? Search. DUMANG DK6 ERGO V2 make typing better. Okay, so first of all, let's look at images. I'm not sure I want to go to their website. Oh, looks like it's not bad. Oh, this one is crap. But I'm telling you, this is crap. No good. Okay, so this is one of those keyboard they designed so that you can adjust your keys to different positions, whatever positions you want. It's crap. Why? Because it's too elaborate. You don't need to. You rather you want something, designed fixed position, then that's it. You don't want something that's movable. And so what is this keyboard good for? It's good for if you are a designer. If you are a designing stage of keyboard, you are still trying to find out which one is the best ergonomic shape, then this is maybe good for keyboard designers. Once you find out one specific configuration that's good, then you want to go manufacture it. You don't want a keyboard where you use every day that has this complexity. Okay, this is crap. And also, even if you are a designer, this I don't think it's that good, because by now, after about 7 years of ergonomic keyboard evolution, we have lots of studies. People have studied ergonomic arrangement, key arrangement for like 7 years already. We already know, what is the best position. What's the thumb. You don't need to experiment anymore. Okay, if you haven't seen, there are already like hundreds of different varieties of thumb key positions. You can see all of them here. You don't need that anymore. So I don't recommend that keyboard. The attachment is super strong and it does not move. It's still no good. It's still no good, but why? I don't want to see. I don't want to have a keyboard where I see this inelegant complexity crap. I don't want to see those lines. And of course, it also adds to the cost. Nothing comes free. This will add to the cost where you have movable keys and things like that. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Well, Bart says every hand is unique. That's right. That's why when you buy a keyboard, you pick one of these. There are so many choices. You pick one, you use that. Okay. You don't need. That's my opinion. Okay, so I might check out the website. Okay, so yeah. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. If you like my stuff, subscribe and thumb up or things like that. Support the support the consumerism society, and let's make everyone dumb. I have no choice. Or actually, the best thing to do is actually, let's talk about the video. Let's talk about the YouTube phenomenon, the society. These days, every time you watch video, people, everyone is trying to make money, right? Except me. I'm not. You watch the video, everyone is like, oh, please support, please thumb up, please subscribe. The girls has their style. They smile. Please subscribe, thumb up for the great peaceful world. Go fuck themselves. Then there are the different types. For example, the Linus tech review. This Linus guy, he's become a multi-millionaire. His YouTube videos become so rich, so popular. He's doing several videos per day with a full staff behind him. This Linus tech review guy. Please thumb up. His style is speaking very fast. If you like it, thumbs up. If you don't like it, thumb down. You know what to do. And blah blah blah. He Linus tech review. He's trying to his style. He's kind of like trying to be cool. This cool guy. He's seeing it all. The fucking idiot. Linus tech review guy. Yeah, but they, in my opinion, they are idiot. You kind of like they are not that great content. But however, that's how you become rich. You want become rich. You want to become successful. That's the things you do. That's what you have to do. Thumb up, please thumb up, and don't talk about controversial things. Don't say fuck you, fuck them. don't be like me. Okay, be a dummy in society. Be a cockwheel. Bye.